right, guys, we'll go ahead and open up for questions.
Coach, just your general thoughts on the 90 minutes this afternoon.
General thoughts were that I felt the first half we were good without being dangerous. I felt we sort of that we give away a really poor goal, but other than that, I don't think they really caused us too much troubles. And I thought we controlled the game, but to a point where whenever we got out, we didn't really expose Dallas. And I thought second half that was a different story. I think second half we were a lot more, just a little bit more aggressive when we went forward, a little bit more. As soon as we beat their first line of press, we went a little bit quicker. Just pleased for the lads, because I think over the last recent period they're just giving everything, and I think football wise I think they played some really good stuff tonight.
And on the equalizer, it was a hard ball in from the outside on Enzo. Cole Bassett toe pokes it in. What did you see there?
What did I see there? He shouldn't have been in the box. Sorry. I was curious, well, how on earth is he in the box? But listen, I think we changed it around at half-time. We put Kellen high and put Cole in the six, and there were some moments in there where Cole received the ball in certain situations, and he showed a lot of bravery, a lot of character. We've said to the team we want to be brave, we want to pass our way out the back and not to kick it long, and there were some situations where I thought he was fantastic in some really dangerous moments. And then I think he just showed an incredible amount of hunger and desire to get on the end of that cross. I think it was a really good, well-worked move, good run from Enzo. I thought Enzo gave us a lift as well, a bit of energy, and sort of sparked us off a little bit. And that sort of thing's infectious when players like Enzo come on and you start driving forward, and he took the goal very, very well, and I'm pleased for him, and I think I've said this quite a lot now. We just have to make sure we keep, he's got to keep working hard and keep his feet on the ground, and but it's just a nice way to finish for him and the team.
And the game winner came off a set piece not even 5 minutes later. Did you feel that one was coming after the first one?
I felt I felt once we scored that goal, I felt we had a chance. And it's hard because they're up the top of the league, and other than times when they got in our final third, they got some pace and they got some real skill, but for the most part, for the whole game, I think when we pressed them or when they had the ball at the back, they just knocked it long and tried to knock it in behind, and so I didn't really. I thought we played very, very well without being dangerous at times, and I it was just strange because they're up the top of the league, and I don't think they caused us too many problems. But I was just pleased that they've, over the last little period now, the last few games, the players have shown great character and spirit, togetherness. And I think we saw that tonight, because I think it would have been easy. It 1-0 down against Dallas. The season's done. It would have been easy to go the other way.
And my last question for you, Coach. In the season, on a 3-game unbeaten streak, and you had the fans in, it was Fan Appreciation Day, and they were energized and they were into it. Do you think they gave the team a lift?
100%. I think it's been an incredibly tough year for the fans, and it's been there's not I'm sort of tired of hearing myself speak about this and apologise, but we are terribly. They've been magnificent. We're desperate to give them a team that they're going to be proud of. We know we will, and they've stuck by us all year. When quite easily they have every right to turn their back on us, but they've been there every home game, and I think myself, the staff, the players, I think we have to thank the fans. They were outstanding today, and I'm just so pleased we were just to give them a little piece of something at the end there, because we haven't done enough of that all season, and I hope they can just see, flashes and phases of the type of team we're trying to build and how the style of play we're trying to play. It's evident, and I hope they see that, and I hope they know that we are, as I've said before, we're going to do everything to make sure we add to this squad and make sure we're adding in the right areas and improving. And next year we're going to be in a much, much stronger place, and we're building off the a really good foundation. We are, and. But yeah, no, a huge thank you to the fans. They've been absolutely outstanding this year. It's almost, it's very, very humbling to have seen their support throughout the year.
So even though the season's been over for maybe like an hour at this point, what are some of your takeaways from your first season in as an MLS coach?
My first season, well, I think first of all, it's been an incredibly tough year. Like it's been tough. There's been periods where it's been painful, but I have literally loved every single minute of it. And the reason I have is because we have a group of staff and players that throughout all the difficult times, and I think the recent month has been evident of that. Through all the difficult times, I've not seen or witnessed anyone go off on a different path and go in a different direction. I think everyone's stuck together. Staff, players, everyone shows up every week, receptive, wants to get better, wants to find a solution, and most of all, stick together as a team. And I think when you have that and you go through difficult times and you're building things and people believe in it, it makes it all worthwhile. On the other side of that, there's many things that once I've done my, I'll complete my review. I've been looking over it for, a period of time now, but certainly there's so much that I don't think people, quite sort of understand how big it is to really rebuild a team and change a team, and how long it takes, and how tough it is, and the restraints, and being able to bring players in, and having to wait for all these different things that go into it. It takes time, and so I think that's probably been one of the biggest things, the speed of changing the team in terms of bringing in the players that you need that suit the way you want to play. But certainly, look, there's loads. But I think the biggest thing, as tough as it's been, I've loved every second. I am completely 100% dedicated and focused on nothing but making sure we are a playoff team and a team that people can be proud of. I have nothing else in my life other than that total focus, and I know I have so much faith in what we're doing and the staff and upper management that we will get there. I have no doubts whatsoever. So so that's my small summary there.
And this might not be something you can answer now, but people have been talking a little bit about Tim Howard going and doing broadcasting stuff. So is he going to be finishing out the last year of his contract? Has there been any discussion about that? Is he going to be here next year?
Yeah, Tim's our captain. Tim's look. One thing. And I have said this before. I've got to repeat. I probably say it internally every other day, only because that's what's presented in our environment. Even today, I said the same thing today to my staff. Tim has literally held the team together. He's binding everyone together. He's finding ways constantly to make sure that this club moves forward. People see him on the pitch. I can assure you, off the pitch, he's an unbelievable captain, and he wants this club to succeed, and he's doing everything he possibly can. I said to my staff member today, I just literally said, my words were to him, he's an unbelievable character. What a captain we've got. And the reason I said that is because that's the way he shows up every day. So he's a big part of next year. He's a big part of building this team. He's a big part of building the culture. I know I speak about this a lot, and people probably fed up of hearing me talk about culture. It's so important. It's, the thing is, if you're not going to go and buy a superstar player every year, which not everyone has the luxury of doing that, and relying on those types of players, then you have to build a team. You have to build a team that's based on values and works a certain way and is together, and everyone works for each other. Now, we're building that, and Tim Howard is right at the heart of that, and so he is critical to building this team.
Coach, just real brief, I want to jump back to today on a quick one. I'm glad you mentioned Enzo, because that was really apparent what he brought to the game. But I'm just kind of curious, from the first half, maybe through the break into the second, how did you address with the guys to do things like get more guys into the box? Because we saw some good play to get to that stage. There may not be anybody there to be on the end of them. Yeah. But the second half, that changed.
Yeah, I think sometimes we spoke about it in the halftime. It was the biggest thing that I felt we really got into some good positions where when we played out, we were controlled, we were brave, and we were composed. But when we actually beat their press and got out and got into positions to go and attack, we didn't expose it. We were too one-paced. In fact, we probably did that at the same pace as we were composed and measured, and we probably composed and measured in the opposition half. So we spoke about it at half time, and I think, look, sometimes a change or discussing it, someone has to show it on the pitch, and I whether it's Kellen, whether it was Nana Boateng, whether it's someone with a forward run or a forward pass or winning attack. These things give life to the team, and I think it was a combination of all of that. I think the changes they get, the subs coming in probably give us a lift. We were bare bones today in terms of changes and subs, and I mean, you could probably put a team out with our injury list, and they're all big injuries, broken foot and stress factors and everything. So they're difficult, they're bad injuries. So to get a result against a team who needed to get a result today, I thought it was credit to the players, because they're a good team. They were some good players. Cheers, bro.
Off of Abby's first question, what's the biggest lesson you've learned as a manager in 2018, and how will you be applying it next year?
That's a big question, and I think.
Pick one if you can't pick like 7 or 8. I want to keep you here all day.
Well, listen. Look, I think probably to give a really accurate answer, I'd have to think about it. It's. I think. Look, my biggest feeling has been over the last 3-4 months. My biggest feeling has been one of like internal frustration, at times shame. I felt embarrassed. Like it's been tough. I feel all of this I feel because we want to give to we want to build a team that, like I've said before, that everyone's proud of, that we know we're going to build, we're going to get to. But it's going through this has been tough because it's not a quick fix. So that will be in terms of an attitude. I come away and even more determined and obsessed with making sure we hit the ground running in pre-season. And the thing is, like, I know people don't want to hear these things, but like we'll go into this pre-season, touch wood, with all our squad. We didn't have that last year, and we were still signing players. I remember making a phone call the day of the New England game about a striker, because we were still bringing we were still looking for, like, there are so many things that we are so further ahead. So I'm just myself, the staff, the players, we've grown from this. We're stronger for it. And we are personally even more determined to make sure tomorrow we address and hit everything head on to make sure we're far, far further ahead than last pre-season.